Welcome to Encroachment Sports Talk. You know, we have been sports fans for quite a long time, some of us a little longer than others. But every once in a while, you're watching a game or you're thinking about sports and you're like, whatever happened to such and such? Like things have changed through time. Something that used to happen all the time never happens anymore. So we thought it would be a fun exercise to just go through that a little bit and talk about some things that don't happen anymore in sports. So, Chris, you got any baseball?
Yeah, so baseball, to me, this one, we may have overlap on this one, is the disappearing complete game by a pitcher. Yeah. So here are the statistics on that one. And you guys are bigger baseball guys than I am, but so the modern era of baseball, I don't know when that starts, but 1974, 28% of the games had a complete game finish. In 2014, the last statistic I can find was 2.4%.
Wow.
Yeah. So we know, again, this is another one with analytics, arm fatigue, and player safety, and all that kind of stuff. So I understand why it's happening. But again, I've got another trivia question, but you'll never answer. If you answer this one, I'm going to send you each.
I'm going to answer it before you ask it.
Go ahead.
Jim Catfish Hunter.
No, that's wrong.
Okay.
But good try. That's a good try. But so my money, I think, is safe. But I will send you both gift cards to get this right. Which do you want to take a shot, Jeff?
Well, you have to ask it first.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that's true. That would always help.
Very funny, Mark. You know, I do have that.
Well, you wanted to answer first, Mark. For God's sake.
I could have provided you with an answer, but you know, I don't want to be wrong like Mark. So go ahead.
I know. He's the one who answered first. That's a funny thing. You got me off my game there. So anyway, who's thrown the most consecutive complete games? You'll never get it. But give it a shot.
Complete games.
Yeah. It's going to be early 1900s.
1900. No, I'm not going to get that one.
Well,
No.
early
His name was
1900s.
Jack Taylor, and he threw 187 consecutive games.
Wow.
My answer was going to be Roger Clemens. His early days with the Boston Red Sox, as well as his days in Toronto. Not so much as a Yankee, but I think he went a lot. He went the distance a lot when he was with the Red Sox and also Toronto.
Let me give you a stat, and this is where I thought you were coming from. In 1975, Catfish Hunter had 30 complete games. You know how many complete games that were thrown in Major League Baseball last year?
How many?
35.
Wow. Yeah. It was a whole different world back then.
Yeah.
Crazy. And I guess the guy who kind of embodies that now is that Verlander, right? He really does want to go the 9 innings. I mean, again, there's some other guys out there, but he really takes pride in going as far as, the distance as possible. So anyway, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that was the top of my list too. So whatever happened to teams manufacturing runs? You don't see that anymore. You got a guy on, you just wait for the long ball. It's and you know what's a big part of why that's going down is the DH. And now that the DH is in the National League, you don't have pitchers bunting anymore, right? Yeah. So they're always playing for the long ball, and so it's become a little less interesting of a game just waiting for the long ball. So hopefully they do things to change it. I mean, the good thing about baseball is they can play with the ball, make it less bouncy or whatever, and tweak it back to where you need to do some things where the ball stays in the park to manufacture runs. So.
Mine was along the same lines. It was the stolen bases. We just don't see enough along the same lines, Mark. Runs being manufactured. Yeah. And which ties back to bases being stolen bases, right? Yeah. So I just think it's a lost art of the game where there's so much focus and concentration on the long ball. Yeah, we got it. Chicks dig the long ball, right?
I don't know about that. I don't know if chicks even care about baseball.
Taking it back to the early 90s or late 90s, early 2000, that was the slogan of Major League Baseball, right? Trying to pull fans back in the game, saying chicks dig the long ball, whatever, neither here nor there. But a lost art of the game is runs being manufactured and how they do so through stolen bases. So I agree with you, Mark.
Yeah, I had put, just intuitively, I put stolen bases down on my list, doing a little prep for this. And I looked at it and the numbers weren't as shocking as maybe how much bunts have gone down and complete games have gone down. They've gone down by about 40% of what they used to be. I was surprised to see the league leader in like 2 of the last 3 years was around 40, whereas it used to be 60s and 80s. There were a few outlier years with Ricky Henderson and Vince Coleman, well over 100, but you won't see that. But it's definitely gone.
But think
gone
about it, Mark. We haven't seen a Ricky Henderson in almost
Yeah.
25 years.
Yeah,
Like-
I missed that definitely.
25 years since we have seen.
Well, he was the greatest of all time.
Well, absolutely, but over 100
Ask him
bases, and the next player that has come the closest have only stolen like 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have another baseball one for you, and this I think this is one that will strike dear to Jeff's heart, which is, do you guys remember when the Yankees were a feared team? Whatever happened to that?
Oh, Jeff, you knew he had to do something in this episode.
Well, I mean, why would they fear us if they're all cheating? Just saying.
Oh, I got you.
Sound
Yeah.
like the spurn kid on the playground.
Yeah.
Takes his ball and goes, "You guys are all cheating. I'm not playing
Yeah.
anymore."
You know, the eye watches, the beating up the drum, the beating up the trash can. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you
Yeah,
have to
true.
cheat to beat us. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I know. But when you have a payroll of $1 billion a year,
Well, yeah, the Dodgers.
I see where this is going. So, Chris, you're actually taking a side here today.
no, I'm not. I'm just saying you've got unlimited
I
resources.
always thought, Chris, that you were a neutral party between,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Hey, look, I'm looking out for those smaller market teams like the Twins. I mean, we don't have the $500 million.
Well,
to payroll.
You would have a good team if you don't donate your players to the Red Sox. Just saying.
It's true. Yeah, that's one of the
I remember the last twin that helped us out. I mean, I do remember the last twin that helped us out, but it wasn't very recent.
Yeah,
I
well,
know.
Ortiz, come on, that was enough. Jesus.
Yeah, that's
That's enough for 3
So, are you saying that the Minnesota Twins is a farm system for the Boston Red Sox?
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. It's
David Ortiz was signed for peanuts. That wasn't your typical like Tampa Bay Devil Rays or your Twins. Like, we can't afford this guy and we really want to retain him. They just had bad talent evaluation. He wasn't
Yeah,
signed for much money at all.
No, I know. Well, for whatever reason, we still remember that one, Mark.
Yeah, I get the reason.
Yeah.
I don't. But
Yeah.